Long ago, there was a ship called the Traveler. It sailed through the stars, leaving behind a trail of forgotten galaxies. The ship had been lost for centuries, drifting through the emptiness of space, its destination a far-off planet known as Amyros. The people aboard the Traveler were the descendants of the first humans to venture into the unknown, a generation of explorers who set out to find new worlds. As the ship neared Amyros, something strange happened. A signal was sent out, calling for help, but no one responded. It was as if the planet itself was hiding from them. The crew sent a team of brave explorers to land on Amyros, eager to uncover the truth about the missing colony. The landing was smooth, but as the explorers stepped onto the alien soil, they noticed something odd. The planet seemed abandoned, yet it was covered with strange, glowing plants and ancient ruins that told the story of a long-lost civilization. The air was thick with mystery, and the sky shimmered in hues of green and purple. The explorers made their way to the old colony's main settlement, only to find it eerily silent. There were no signs of life, just the shadows of memories that seemed to linger in the empty streets. As they searched, they began to feel the presence of something watching them. It wasn't just the ruins that felt strange, it was the people they once knew, now vanished. The mystery of the colony deepened as they found an ancient relic buried deep beneath the ground, a crystal that pulsed with an unnatural energy. The explorers couldn't shake the feeling that this artifact was linked to the strange silence of Amyros. Something powerful had taken hold of the planet, something that had waited for them to arrive. And so, the first chapter of the sleeper virus begins, an ancient curse that mimics memories and controls minds, and the legend of how the ship the Traveler met its tragic fate. What had happened to the colony? And what exactly had been awakened? Only time would tell, and the explorers were about to discover far more than they had ever imagined. The explorers gathered around the ancient crystal they had unearthed, its glow pulsing brighter with every passing moment. Strange whispers echoed through their minds, voices that didn't belong to anyone they knew. Some of the explorers swore they heard familiar voices calling their names, urging them to join the colony, to return home. But the voices sounded wrong, distorted, as if someone, or something, was pretending to be them. As they ventured deeper into the colony, the once empty streets now seemed to shift before their eyes. Buildings that had been abandoned moments before were now filled with shadows. Figures appeared and disappeared, flickering like distant stars caught in a cosmic storm. Some explorers reached out to touch these shadows, only to find their hands passing through them, as though they weren't really there. Then came the discovery of the Memory Vault, a towering structure at the heart of the settlement. Its surface was covered in strange symbols, some of which glowed faintly under the explorers' touch. The vault, according to the old records, was a place where the colony's greatest minds stored their memories and experiences, preserving them for future generations. But when they opened the vault, they found it filled not with memories of a peaceful past, but with a terrifying truth. Inside, the explorers uncovered records of a parasite, a silent invader that had taken over the colony. This creature, known as the sleeper virus, could infiltrate minds, erase memories, and replace them with twisted versions of reality. The colony had been overtaken by this parasite, and the people's memories were now nothing more than puppets controlled by an ancient force from the depths of space. The explorers realized they weren't just walking through an abandoned colony, they were stepping into a trap. The sleeper virus had found its way to the Traveler. And with each passing moment, it grew stronger. The mystery was deeper than anyone had anticipated. The virus didn't just infect the colony, it had spread through the stars, waiting for the perfect moment to awaken. And now, it had found new targets. The explorers. In the shadows, something stirred, watching them with eyes that were not their own. The real horror had only just begun. The explorers scrambled to make sense of what they had uncovered, their minds racing with fear and confusion. They were no longer sure what was real and what was part of the sleeper virus's cruel mimicry. The memories they had of their families, their homes, everything they thought they knew began to feel like fragile, fading dreams. It was as if the very fabric of their identities was being slowly unraveled. The air grew colder as they approached the heart of the colony. The ancient crystal that had led them to the truth now seemed to hum with an ominous energy. It pulsed in rhythm with the beat of their hearts, as if alive, as if connected to something much bigger, something ancient and vast beyond comprehension. Suddenly, a deep, resonating voice filled the air, a voice that was both familiar and alien at the same time. It was as though the ship, the Traveler, had come alive, its engines no longer powered by machines but by the memory of the colony's people. The explorers froze, their minds overwhelmed by the realization that the ship itself had been infected, its systems now under the control of the sleeper virus. "Return to us," the voice whispered. "Become part of the dream." One by one, the explorers began to hear voices calling to them, voices of people they had known, people they had loved. But these weren't the people they remembered. They were the parasites, twisting memories into something dark and hungry. The explorers could feel the pull, the urge to obey, to give in to the sleeper virus and join the colony once again. But not all were lost. A few of the explorers resisted. They remembered who they were. They fought the parasite with everything they had left. They knew that the sleeper virus wasn't just a threat to them, it was a threat to the entire galaxy. If it could infect the Traveler, it could spread to any ship, any colony, any world. In a final, desperate act, the remaining explorers activated the ship's self-destruct sequence, a last-ditch effort to prevent the virus from escaping. But as the countdown began, they understood the terrible truth: the sleeper virus had already spread far beyond this world. The legends were true, this wasn't just the story of one lost colony. It was the beginning of a new cosmic plague. As the Traveler exploded in a burst of light, the sleeper virus vanished into the stars, waiting for the next colony, the next generation of explorers. The legend of the sleeper virus was far from over. And so, the tale ended, but the universe still held its breath, knowing that somewhere, in the deepest corners of space, the virus waited to awaken once again.